Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, not 2, 4 replay. Spawned bottom left side as the Cyan Abbasid Dynasty of LoueMT. Spawned on the right side as the Blue Mongols of VortiX. Got the career moving around. Let's see, it's not set up right next to the gold deposit, so we need to collect up some wood there. It does have the oval up and going. And now going for a barracks, so this is eyeing for a bit of a tower rush. Cyan Scout is moving around over there. And the first set of pair of militia are coming, not militia, spearmen coming on out. We've got another spearman on the build queue, as well as a villager. He's eyeing to perhaps power rush this gold deposit. And if you take a look at the map, oh, wait, he deleted that? He deleted his own mine there? Interesting, he did that prematurely. He does grab a bit of gold there. He is currently aging up with the economic wing. He deleted that mine there just to get the deny the plus 25 resources, the food and gold. Maybe a little bit extreme there, but do now have the village eyeing for a tower here, which will provide covering fire around that gold deposit. Economic wings on the way. The Mongol player still has not collected a single, is it gram of gold, coin of gold, or still pebble of gold? Gravel of gold. So this gravel's more accurate for the stone deposits. That's going to force them off the berries right there. Got a lot of villagers cleaning up with these nearby trees, and got now the barracks being put on the field. Got the speed arrow there to make the Khan run away faster. Got these spearmen camping the berries now. They can perhaps just set down the spear, grab a quick bite as well. And do have the tower going on up. Barracks has been pulled out here. He's going to be applying eye for some spearmen of his own. He does, of course, have access to the initial spearmen. Got this up going. That's a good group of sheep he collected. That will, of course, get him enough food for quite some time. Each sheep provides 250 there, and there is 10 sheep. So that is a nice, easy mathematical 2,500 food right there. And now I do have the silver tree been put on field. Recently I've been playing a bit more and more of the Mongols, and I believe been thinking that the silver tree is basically mandatory for the Mongols. The deer stone does not provide enough value, and with more expensive town centers as Mongols, it makes it a bit difficult in order to... This will be an alternative to a second town center, basically. Though it is expensive, it takes a bit of time there, and very, very prone to harassment. He could not do a full distance one. In actuality, he can't really do full distance. But also going half distance or a little bit more than half distance is quite usable. You can go over here. It's pretty protectable there, as well as still providing for a good amount of income. Remember, the Mongols do get more resources for the trade. Additional 10% gold F5. No, it's additional 10% wood and food. I forget exactly what it is. Instead of me trying to remember exactly what it is, either way, just I for 15. We've got a good number of apparently spearmen inside this tower, and now there's more spearmen. He can always upgrade it with the arrow sluts once it gets to feudal age to get additional damage per arrow, which could make it very resilient to the additional spearmen throwing torches at them. Going for another gold mine here. That decides to rotate to this gold mine over here because this gold mine has been denied and knock up the feudal age out. And we've got an exotic doggo chasing the Khan. Arrow slits and not being researched as well as Woo Barrow. And ooh, there's some good hits there on the Khan. You shouldn't take that. Khan, of course, is a scout unit. The spearman will find another hit onto him as well, getting some great damage to him. One more stab and he may be down. Now Silver Tree's eyeing to be right there. He's going to go for as max distance as possible. But these trees are sort of in the way, so if he starts chopping down the trees, it'll make the path more straight. And now the spearmen do get outside of that garrison now. Absent Dynasty players can, of course, play out camels in order to help engage any horsemen. And now these spearmen will spot the Silver Tree. Of course, in order to take the exact look at the benefits, we need to switch over to him. Now I've got the regular spearman or the hardened spearman research. The silver tree is now receiving some torch damage from these spearmen here. And he will potentially torch down this house that will, of course, give him a bit of raid. Now we do have these single archers being pushed on forward, getting overwhelmed by the spearmen. And now I've got some more caravans on field when the threat is still around. And I can't see the trade bonuses. Sometimes a bit iffy whether or not I can see the actual effects. The other spearman does get overran as well. We do have a stable here. It does get the torch damage there, getting some extra resources. Now you can go ahead and shank or poke away that spearman. That spearman also goes down there. Some arrows will come on in, and the house will be torched on down. And Cyan does still sort of need that house. He only has 6 spare population there. Does spot the outpost of arrow slits. He does have 6 villagers area, not enough room for everybody. And also the town center does get some arrows there on this spearman. Oh, and he did not clear out the area before the first trade caravan come out. Now I got a handful of archers now pulled on the field. And more archers now being pulled out as well. Single cash is on the field. He has sustained a little bit of damage. Maybe a bone spearman could have been this outpost here. And so far, for all economic techs for both players, we only have wheelbarrow. Now the barracks being pulled on the field, not big surprise, but just eyeing for more spearmen. You can always go for golems later on with them. However, golems are more of an anti-light specialist. They deal attacks in rapid succession, thus armor's more effective, and damage increases own damage output's more effective. They also gain a charge attack as well, lower base damage than the man-at-arms. We've got some additional Keshiks out now on the field. We've got 4 Keshiks out in the field. And now additional Keshiks being on the build queue as well. That one may be a ×2 with stone. And we've got a single spearman here to harass any sort of trade line. That's his only trader at the moment. This trader will eventually go down. The traders do not receive bonus damage from spearmen. Spotting Falcon does get pulled out there. And now got the Keshiks charging forward. And, oh, no, that's a spearman there. Was he disguised as a villager? It's really hard to tell them apart, the early spearmen. Does get one of the villagers there, very nice. The civilian count is in favor of blue by a fair margin. And another horseman does go down. He has 4 Keshiks on the field, which is significant. And we got 2 more Keshiks out on the field. It did use stone on that one. Well, it went the wrong way around, but that's fine. We got a handful of archers here, only 5 speed on the field, going for the military wing. He's eyeing to go for a fast castle. And we got more traders now being deployed on the field. I don't think blue killed that many civilian units, so Cyan may have been a bit delayed on some of his civilian production. And there's only a handful of traders on the field at the moment. Looks like just 4? Which will provide him a good amount of income. So archer right there. We got a good number of Keshiks on this field. We've also got a handful of defensive spearmen. The military wing will spawn out, what, 2 camel riders? Yeah, 2 camel riders. Spearman does brace there for a moment, allowing the archers get some good damage on in. And it looks like one Keshik will go down, only able to regenerate enough health by throwing torches. It looks like this tower is still garrisoned by something. It could be with a leftover spearman. Doing a good job of collecting up that gold. Blue's going to be advancing ahead of his economy at the current rate. You've got the Pierce armor now being researched for all the Mongol player that will stay in Towns of the Fire. With that, the Keshiks will go up to 6 or to 4 Pierce armor, making so the town arrows damage output will be reduced by 33%. Go from 3 to 2 damage. You now have another tower outpost being put on field, and now you have Castle Age for the Abbasid Dynasty player. Camel Riders will definitely be the best option at the moment. Kurultai steppered out now. He swapped over steppered out. It's going a bit heavy in gold. And now you have these villagers. One villager does go on down. Very nice. If Blue's able to maintain that pressure on killing up villagers, that'd be great. Does use a speed arrow there to catch up with these guys. We may see a spear berries. Note he does pull out the sabers there. Does get spear berries on one of those spearmen. And do have some man-at-arms now pull on the field, or golems, I should say. And Khan does go down there. More of the archers are spearmen going down. More Keshiks will be great against the man-at-arms, but they will not be good versus the camel riders. Against Abbasid Dynasty player, once he starts transitioning to camel riders, you generally have to go for man-at-arms, in my opinion. Camel riders do bonus damage versus other cavalry. They do still have a decent sword, but they cost as much as a knight, if I remember correctly. He doesn't have a stable at the moment. Oh, we can just look up here. Yeah, that's almost as much as a knight. A knight is 140, 100. This is 160. Okay, they're a little bit cheaper, 20 less in total resources, but still a good counter to Keshiks. I remember the last time I fought against them this morning, I was mashing Keshiks, he was mashing camel riders, and he was fighting against my Kurultai, which made it so the debuff and the Kurultai buff cancel each other out, though he still had bonus damage, but I just had a larger number of Keshiks. Camel riders have also 270 HP. Veteran Keshiks only have 175, they have 95 less health. Now these camel riders are eyeing for these traders as well. He knows that they're up and going. And so now got a good number of golems now to on the field. Their animation needs to be fixed. They still hold a shield when they should be holding two swords. More of the traders now pulling field, going for another oboe here. Very nice. And that villager will go on down. Quick finish torch down that archer range there. He has not deployed any research over there. Keshiks do find an opportunity on these villagers, getting some good hits there. So both sides will start losing some civilians. One of these camel riders going down, but I do got a large wave of crossbowmen, which are not counted as camel riders. They are light, not heavy. But the crossbowmen still have a good enough damage output. They could just pull back that wounded one. Keshiks have pulled out this region. It's still a spearman and golem in this region. And now do you have Keshiks report. He does lose the column somewhere. Got golems everywhere. If you're going to cause a bit of problem, he does have crossbowmen as well as Keshiks, so they're both good items versus the man-at-arms. While the Keshiks don't do any bonus damage versus golems, they still have good amount of damage and health to engage them. Golems right now do have more health, but they do have less damage. So, and additionally, the Keshiks do have health per swipe of their sword or lance, or their attacks in general, including the torches. And now these golems will be overran. It's a good hit there. Let's take out that Keshik there. Good amount of crossbowmen now float on the field. Separate out, now being focused down. There's a handful of spearmen there. Superior number of Keshiks can, of course, overwhelm the spearmen. Those golems haven't cleaned on up. We've got a prayer tank going up. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think, yep, all 5 relics are still in the field. Crossbowmen trying to gauge the spearmen. Now they're trying to stab those traders. Right now, since the Mongol player can't fly on walls, he's just getting overwhelmed. Does go ahead and swap the garrison of these villagers there. He needs to get other garrisons in. I thought he was trying to swap them out with the low health, the higher health. Golems do get cleaned on up. And these spearmen gang does take out Keshik there. Now the crossbowmen and the spearmen engaging each other. Over here we got now the golem engaging these Keshiks now. Overall, it's been a pretty messy time for the Mongol player recently. He still has a superior number of civilians, but he has lost a significant number. Sign has pulled out some walls here. He could potentially build a market there in order to get some of his own trade up and going. And ooh, these Kashyyyks are wounded. He may find some of these villagers there. He does not get past the ghost there before he built it. He stopped for a moment, does get charged through the fence, and will get some more damage there. Good delete of the fence there, but he will save those villagers. More Kashyyyks and more man-at-arms now being put out. Both sides now pulling out man-at-arms. Man-at-arms are overall probably a good item to play against his opponent's current composition. Since Spearmen and Camerata is still a possibility, the Camaradas will likely have gone down, but still they still pose a looming threat. Let's get some damage there on these forces. Over here, you got these forces once again hitting these trade caravans. You only need a couple of them just to really throw off your opponent's trade. Got a good number of crossbows here to engage Science Force. The Khan, of course, can improve the reload right there. Looks like he just bought a whole bunch of wood there, the Mongol player. Now eyeing for a big line of research. Kashyyyk charging forward. They're still spearing this mix. Crossbow firing away as well, focusing down the man-at-arms. Science advancing forward with the... or Blue's advancing forward with all these crossbowmen. Does he have the improved arrow research? No, he does not have the improved arrow research. I believe people should get the improved arrow research more often. It's relatively cheap, or even just regular arrow research. It is relatively cheap, and it also doubles the duration of the Khan's arrow. Trying to go for a conversion there. He does get it. And now... Oh, I heard somebody got picked up a relic. I think it's Blue picked up a relic somewhere. One relic has been claimed by Blue. He does find a volley down those villagers. Another relic has been claimed by Cyan. This monk could get overwhelmed. He probably doesn't see that force just yet. He does spot the shaman now. We've got a line of palisade ashes going up, and he's putting in a giant box because he's eventually going to put a prayer tent there in order to get improved what's it called, sheep production. Got these forces now pushing forward. There's a solution of Cyan force there. Blue is trying to torch his way and make his way through that wood line. Single Kashyyyk here. Some of these villagers have to back off out of the region. Right now, Cyan's going largely at force of golems and a handful of spearmen. Blue has a massive force of crossbowmen, handful of Kashyyks, a couple crossbowmen on build queue. I think that maybe spending stone onto them. And trying to go for more of the outposts here, simply for more garrison space to keep these guys alive. Another villager does go down. Blue is eyeing for more relics. These forces still running around. More Cyan force here. There's another priest here, or shaman. Does create the outpost there. Needs an arrow slit as well as guys getting the inside. Science advancing forward. Got a good number of men-at-arms engaging these crossbowmen. The Khan arrow has been utilized at one point in time. And now, so the Science force finally gets cleaned on up. Both sides have lost a large number of civilian units. Right now, Blue's still ahead. Has a good number of traders on the field. I don't know if he has his full 15 just yet. Cyan's moving around. We got another, or Blue has quite another force. Most of those are crossbowmen as well. Adam Khan has a bit of fire there. At this point in time, rather than going for all these crossbowmen, he could go for some Magadai. Mangadai are excellent at chasing down villagers. Science now trying to engage this force here. It's mostly composed of spearmen, which means they also will not do additional damage there. Khan's speed arrow is not on cooldown, does gun down one of those forces. Does a good job of picking up these individuals, but these crossbows will get overwhelmed by the spearmen. Shaman's not trying to claim some of these secret sites there. Keshik's punching forward with another wave of crossbowmen. And you may go for the attack speed arrow with these nearby reinforcements. Keshik tried charging forward. Blue's crossbowmen still falling back. Got another wave of crossbowmen being put on the field. He's probably overdoing these crossbowmen. He needs regular archers, honestly. We got a single regular archer in this mix. I suppose crossbowmen are not half bad in stutter step. Does get some spear braces there on the back line. Right now for economic techs, Blue does have food and wood, and his opponent has food and wood with double food. Got the White's super being put on the field. I generally find the Khandic Palace tends to get more resources, but does gun down all these civilians. Very, very good. Blue's using these crossbowmen. They're not exactly great for all these spearmen, but they do have a very timely pattern for stutter step. They're actually better at the stutter step than probably regular archers because they have a longer reload time. There's a reload arrow. He'll be able to fire multiple times there. He's going to back himself into a corner. Oh, didn't fire an arrow there. And more of these spearmen trying to engage on in. Got these crossbowmen healing up the wood line there. Cyan literally has half the civilian population of his opponent, which is significant. And Cyan does back up the game now. This is Great saying, thanks for watching and on to the next replay.